welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harter.
And joining us again this week on Mic 3, our friend
Joe Kaye, I'm back, baby.
You can't keep him away.
No, you really can't.
We tried and failed, and he is back. And we can't wait.
Yeah, I'm the one breaking in all the cars. That's how I'm surviving here. I've been living on the street.
We pulled into the garage, and one of our neighbors was like, "Oh yeah, some people have been breaking into our cars with crowbars."
Whoa.
So tell
It's me.
Yeah, and it's Joe. It's Joe.
me.
Well, we know for a fact it is not our guest today because she is hilarious. She is sweet, and she would never break into a car with a crowbar. Our friend
Klee Wiggins, hello.
I mean,
No, I would never break into a
Yeah,
car.
we knew it wasn't Klee.
No, she's funny. She's nice. She would never break into a car. I'm painfully unfunny. I'm terrible bitch, and I will break everything.
Money.
A lot of people
Yeah, I'm
think
desperate.
I'm aloof, though. So many people think I'm aloof. Just because I sit in the back of comedy clubs reading a book doesn't mean I'm aloof. Rather than looking at the show until it's my turn.
I mean, that's you're doing it right. Let me say, as a guy who I'm a chronic out with the smokers guy.
Oh,
That's
Just
my
I'm
move.
not talking to you doesn't mean I don't like you.
Yeah. Oh man, well, this is goddamn first time we've had Klee back at Disgraceland since the pandemic, and anybody who follows the Kyle Clark's great podcast, This Is Rad, knows that Klee and I have a shared interest in cooking in the kitchen, and so
Cooking in the kitchen.
yeah,
Yes.
I said and the kitchen.
Cooking in the kitchen.
You know, like hanging out there. That's the thing. You know, we have a very small kitchen here.
We
And
do.
anytime
We
you
And
have,
the fact that you put out what you put out of that teeny tiny kitchen.
Yeah, right.
well, that's the thing. Anytime you have people over, and I've noticed this, in most homes I've ever hung out at, you can have the biggest living room in the world, but if it's like a big party situation, everybody's just crowded in the
Everybody's
damn
in the
kitchen.
kitchen.
Yeah, and if you're the person trying to use the kitchen, you're like, guys, get the fuck out. There's a couch.
Oh, I don't like it with other. I don't like Ed in the kitchen. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like it's mostly me and him at home, and I'm always like, go.
You're just
paint
anywhere.
or
You have the
play
whole
NBA
world.
2K or do something else.
The world
Don't be here.
is at your feet. You can go anywhere.
And our kitchen is pretty big for an apartment. Our kitchen is
You guys
like
got
about as big as this room.
Oh hell yeah!
Wow.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Got a nice size one. Well, I'm gonna talk about cooking here in just a moment, but I want to talk about last week. Joe Kaye revealed during one of those top threes. Someone asked about favorite fixins, and I said my favorite top number one. If I'm at a soul food restaurant, it's on the menu. I'm getting it. Was fried okra, and Joe said I never had fried okra, and as of a few moments ago, now he's had it.
I've had it.
I
I
made
love
it.
it. And if you don't love it, you're wrong. That's if you think it's gross, you're a fucking stupid idiot.
Who's the guy you were saying?
Tom Colicchio.
Tom Colicchio.
Okay,
Chef.
on the Top Chef. He doesn't like garlic is his Guy Fieri's eggs. He doesn't fuck with
Yeah,
it.
okra is his Guy Fieri's egg. Which Guy Fieri not liking eggs. Like I actually like Guy Fieri, and the fact that he doesn't like eggs, I'm just like,
But like,
are you a child?
I
What the fuck?
empathize with that because, like, I don't fuck with eggs outside of a breakfast situation. Like, anytime I
really?
see like a fried egg on a burger, I'm like, get that out of there. What are you doing with it?
Oh,
no,
man,
I
you
just
were missing
can't.
out.
I've tried it. Just not a fan of it.
Rivers.
I mean, I mostly eat
Oh,
eggs in the morning, like a breakfast type of situation.
That
but
I'm
I fucks
into.
with- But I fucks with eggs.
Like bacon, egg, and
whatever.
cheese on a bagel. Absolutely.
So-
I like. I make myself a sardine and avocado toast, and then I put a fried egg on top.
okay.
So the
It's a nice protein bomb.
the egg situation that y'all just had, I made an egg wash and with buttermilk to fry those fried okras there. That's as far as I fuck with eggs. I don't.
Oh, really?
He's a
You like Guy
super
Fieri?
baby.
You don't fuck with eggs
He's
like
a
that.
baby.
Like Guy Fieri only does it in a three-step dredging type of situation.
It belongs in a batter or a cake or pancakes.
I'm a liar because I like a hard-boiled egg too. I do.
Yeah,
like
I do
hard-boiled
sometimes.
eggs.
I hard-boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled egg in like
Ed
a
does
chef
not like
salad or
hard-boiled eggs, and
something. I'm into that.
I'm like, all right, more for me then. I'm a hard-boil all 18 of these eggs I just bought. Just because you don't like them.
yeah.
I don't like your phrase about how you only like them in batter. People ate eggs for probably 1,000,000 trillion years before batter ever came into the-
Sure, but this is optimized eggs. Why lower myself to merely to
Yeah.
merely
What about
cooking them on their own.
like a fried rice type of situation?
Yeah, that's great. In stuff is fine.
Okay.
You know?
So you're talking about solo eggs,
right, like it just a solo fried egg.
But you can't do
I
breakfast
And that's what kills me
burrito.
about Guy Fieri because he loves Asian food and Chinese food in particular.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like, what are you doing about the fried rice, Guy?
I guess I am a liar. I guess the only place where I don't really fuck with an egg is a burger. I'd fuck with it in most places. Just
Yeah.
not. I really get upset when I see you go to like one of those like kind of nicer burger places and like 5 out of the 6 options will have a fucking fried egg on it, and you're like, come on, because I'm not one of those at any restaurant. You'd be like, can you not put them in the thing? Like, no, I'm a very like whatever's on the menu. Like that's how it's intended to be
Right,
eaten,
right.
and if you remove anything from there, it will fuck with the intended result.
Yeah,
I feel like a fancy place is the place where you do pull that at. You know,
Yeah.
the cheaper places, you know, the people are like, fuck this person. At the fancy
Yeah.
places,
If it's a cheesecake level factory place or above, I will ask for substitution.
the two types of factories, cheesecake and old spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly.
The two
If it-
genders.
yeah.
The
I've waited tables for a long, long time, and so I know that like it's easy. To
Yeah,
make
yeah.
that type of substitute. Like I'm not gonna go in there and then make a completely new dish by ordering this one dish and
Right.
then being like,
Yeah.
but can you do this and that? I'm like, but if I don't want a fried egg, for example, I'll be like, can I get this but without a fried egg?
Yeah.
I know that they can do that.
I
and
know
they're
it's not like it's not
But
an
I'm not
issue
gonna go to
of
McDonald's
like
and be like, I want a sausage egg McMuffin with no egg.
right. It's not the like me feeling like it's like any kind of a burden or anything. It's just
Yeah.
the like, oh, I don't want to like, because then if I don't like it, but what if it was like perfect because it has
Sure,
a fried
sure.
egg
Yeah.
in it? Or,
so you have menu anxiety.
yes.
Incredibly.
It ha-
And the
don't wanna-
anxiety is that you may have buyer's remorse
Right.
later mixed with FOMO.
Yes. Yeah. You don't want to miss
See, I
out on
never
the
have
thing.
that
you know?
feel.
Me neither.
No.
Joe's insane. This whole
Yeah.
thing.
My partner does. Ed does all like whenever we order food, I have to give him like if I feel like I'm going to be hungry at 8, I have to give him the DoorDash app at 6.
Yes. 100%.
Because he literally takes 45 minutes to an hour to decide.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And then
Jesus.
without fail, almost always has buyer's remorse, no matter what he chooses. So I'm just like, you're going to have buyer's remorse anyway. Just pick something.
yeah.
I'm
But it
bad with
doesn't
that with
matter.
delivery. At a restaurant, I'm good. Like once the production's happening, it's like, what are you gonna have? Like I don't sit there and be like, Then it's like the whatever my brain farts out first is what I'm having.
Yeah.
Right.
But like it's that time in between. I'm like, I don't know if I want this or that. Do I want to go for fish tonight? I never get fish when I get, but so whatever.
I just go with what the moment tells me. Like either do I want to try something new, then I'll try something new. If I want to go with an old standby, I go with an old
See,
standby, and I'm done.
I'm a big ask the waiter
I was
guy.
just about to
I'm a
say
big
ask the waiter.
I always go,
I do that.
What's
sometimes.
what's the
thing?
tea here? Like what is the thing?
Yep. Almost never been steered wrong that way.
I was
Especially
gonna
if it's
say-
a cuisine I'm not familiar with, then
Right.
I'll ask the waiter.
Yeah.
I've never had a
Basically, that's their job.
I've never had a waiter recommend a bad dessert to me. Anytime I'm
Oh.
like, anytime you're at a restaurant, you're going for the dessert, and you ask them what's your favorite dessert. I would say 9 times out of 10, I'm like, yes, slam fucking dunk. This is
They're like,
unbelievable.
don't fuck with the brownie a la mode. You'd be a fool to do that.
Yeah,
You
you'd be a
have
fool
to
get this brownie.
Yeah.
believe it.
Brownie
Or,
a la mode. It's just a frozen
Waiters will come down on their
Yeah.
own shit
They
sometimes.
will.
They'll be like, look, he likes it, the chef likes it, it's bullshit. Get this thing.
Yeah.
It's way better. This is just a pet project of our insane chef.
Yeah.
What have you been cooking recently?
I made
what's the thing?
pho over the weekend. I've made pho a couple of times over the pandemic. This was my best batch yet. It was delicious.
Okay.
Like
Lovely.
even I'm a Vietnamese woman right now because it was so good.
I was going to ask.
And I had I got the bones, I got the,
Yep.
I got the onions, I got the oxtails, I got the
Oxtails.
brisket, all of that. I roasted it off, and then I still I rinsed it like an
Yeah.
Asian person
Wow,
would.
wow.
And then I roasted it, and then I did like a quick blanch, and then I got rid of that water, and then I made my stock, and oh my god.
Wow.
Put
man.
all like
you
with
did
the ginger.
the whole
I was
production.
I did
gonna
the whole.
say-
It took me about 7 and 8 hours.
that is one of those that,
Worth every
That was all
minute.
3 acts with 2 intermissions. That's an
you know what?
unedited production
You know
of
what
Hamlet.
I watched Endgame and Infinity War while I did it.
How? Okay.
6 hours.
Yep.
Out of
And then
order too.
And I watched 2 episodes of Psych afterwards.
Okay, legit question. How many bowls of pho could you have bought from a restaurant for the same price?
It was about the same as it would have cost me at a restaurant. Like probably all the ingredients all together were about maybe $50.
Oh, nice.
And so if I went to a restaurant, it would have been cheaper to get a single bowl, but I got
how much does yours
4
yield?
bowls out of it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
All
So
right,
that's
perfect.
about $50.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
And it's made with the love.
And it has
That's
the love
true.
and
That's
it
true.
had the flavor that I wanted
Sure.
to
Yeah.
have. Like,
You got to learn something.
yeah. I mean, I toasted my spices, the
Oh.
star
Wow.
anise
Hot damn.
and
That's
the coriander and the clove and all that. Put it in a little cheesecloth and put
Oh
it in
my
the like. It was
God.
I love making pho. It was like I love making stocks in general.
Okay.
So like I love making soup in particular.
yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to
So-
have
and
some
pho is
soup
like
that
such
you
a-
make now.
I know.
I made
This is
chicken
good.
stock today. And,
This was a bad idea asking you this because now I'm like, I want to leave. I want to go eat.
Yeah.
I ate the last bowl of the pho today.
That's one of those I've never attempted the pho or the ramen because
I did
scared.
ramen once and I'll
I'm
never
scared.
do it again.
I'm
Yeah.
scared.
Now
I'm like-
ramen I will never do again. That's like a 2-day.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
like so many components.
Yeah.
Like once you've made the stock for the pho, you're pretty much done.
Right. Pho's got a fairly like thin kind of stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But ramen is literally 2 days. Plus you got to make the tare. Plus it's a whole fucking. I'm not. I made ramen one time during the pandemic, and I'm like, I'm never doing. This was fun, but I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
Sense.
And there's a ramen place like a block away from me that makes a delicious ramen. I'm
Right,
like,
right.
Next time I'm in the mood for ramen, I'm just gonna bite the bullet. And get those.
That's my biggest problem is problem of motivation because where I live, Pho 2000 is right over on Western, real close, and then there's literally a ramen spot right next to
Oh
that.
yeah, there's a Vietnamese place not far from me either, but I order from them sometimes if I'm like, especially if I'm sick.
Yeah.
and I don't have any like broth on hand, but
I think if I didn't live like in the middle of LA where we have
Yeah.
access to every food you can imagine, it'd be one thing. But yeah, just sitting here, I'm always just like, I'll just go get it. I can't. You
yeah,
know.
like if I was at my brother's house, he lives in Yuma, Arizona, I would probably make
There you
pho,
go.
like, once a month.
There,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
just because.
I have a friend who has recently, he's a chef and he worked for years at a Thai restaurant and during the pandemic moved back home with his folks. And so he's been trying to like cook some Thai type stuff.
Interesting.
And they ain't going
They're not
for
having
it.
it.
parents are not
Yeah, they're
having
not
They
having
are
it.
not. They are very into mashed potatoes and
they're meat
steak.
potatoes.
Yes, and they were like, "Oh, this is this is
Holy
a little."
basil?
You're-
Holy basil? No.
I'm
No,
sorry.
I've never
What
heard
kind of
about this
basil is
before.
this?
I'm
It
sorry.
ain't Italian. I don't want it.
Are you trying to start a revolution right now? This is crazy. With coconut milk.
Yeah, there's two kinds of. I cannot sell my mother on Indian food or anything like Caribbean because she was a nurse for 45 years. So in her, she goes, Joe, every single day the break room would just smell of. It was like it would be 16 hours. And
Oh,
all
God.
you'd smell is curry or every spice under the sun. I can't get past the mental block of it now. And I'm like,
When I worked at
that
Bank of
sucks,
America,
Ma,
it
because
was
curry's
like that.
great.
I was gonna say.
I used to work at a Bank of America headquarters office, and it was a lot of Indian and Pakistani people that worked there, and the break room literally did always smell like curry.
Yeah.
like
It was all the Jamaican nurses in New
non-stop.
York. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, there's a reason. Shit's
Though
tasty.
she does fuck with jerk chicken though. My mom's like, I love a jerk spice.
My
I'm like,
mom
yeah.
will
Ooh.
eat anything if you don't tell her what it is. Just say.
That was
That part,
It's good.
try
Like, I
it.
had-
It's good.
I had an ex who was a chef, and he worked at a lot of fancy restaurants in San Francisco, and he made rabbit confit one day.
Oh yeah.
Like rabbit meat.
Rabbit's
And he didn't tell her,
rabbit.
like she was just like, what kind of meat is it? And he's like, I'm not telling you. You just got to taste it.
Yeah.
And she loved it. And then he
Yeah.
was like, it's rabbit meat. And she was like, she wanted to be disgusted, but she'd already said it was good.
Yeah. It's like
My mom's the same way.
Yeah.
If she hears something and she doesn't like it, she won't even give
But
it
like
a
if he had
chance.
told her ahead of time it was rabbit confit,
Yeah.
she never would have eaten it, not in a million years.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm not going to tell you. You have to eat it.
My mom thinks duck is weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
mom
how
does
my
not
mom
like
is.
duck.
But she'll eat but one of her favorite restaurants was Roy Yamaguchi's like first like Hawaiian restaurant.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, she went there like every year for her birthday when she still lived in San Francisco.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna shout
It
out.
was like a Hawaiian restaurant.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Hawaiian stuff, have y'all fuck with Gardena Bowl?
I've heard of it and I've
No.
passed it, but I've never been there.
Okay, next time you got friends in town, if you just want to take them to the most LA perfect weird shit of all time, it's
Okay.
in Gardena. It's a bowling alley, and they have
okay.
a coffee shop attached to it. It's got all the coffee shop, bacon, eggs, all that stuff, and also the other half of their menu, incredible Hawaiian food. And they have they
Lau and all that.
have a bacon fried rice, which I didn't like. I ordered. I was
They
like,
got
oh,
the spam masubi.
yeah, they got the spam musubis, and then they have a garlic chicken that I didn't think that at this late stage in my 35 years I could just be blown away by chicken, but fucking that garlic chicken, I don't know what they're doing to it.
Yeah,
But
some garlic chicken is just
Hot damn.
yeah, it'll flip your lid.
I'll tell you, River,
So good.
I'll take all restaurant recommendations from you because I did take my parents out to that weird fucking place in the middle of the mount, the Inn of the Seventh Ray, that one that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
What is
it?
what a weird fucking place that was.
So I drove Uber for like 3 months. My friend Mike was getting married in Yakima, Washington. So I was like, and I didn't have any money. I'm like, I'm going to do this for exactly as long as it takes me to get this fucking $300 plane ticket, and then I'm done. And during that time, at one point, I was like, I dropped some like weird like club kids out in the way the hell out in the valley, and then it's like 2 a.m. and I got a ping in somewhere out in like Thousand Oaks. Pick this guy up, and then the place I'm dropping him off, it's called the Inn of the Seventh Ray in Topanga.
yeah,
Oh,
And
wow.
And out in like the middle of the canyon.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
and
wow.
for people listening that don't know LA, Topanga Canyon is like rich, sometimes evil hippies, I
Yeah.
guess would be sort of the there's
hippie
a-
art money
yeah,
is what's out there.
Like Charles Manson's family lived out there
100
before
yeah.
they moved in with Dennis Wilson. Like it's got that vibe where you're like, this is beautiful. Everyone here seems cool, but after the sun goes down, I feel like everyone
It's
is
just hippies who
feels a
like,
little
it
sinister.
not
feels
living.
sinister as fuck. Yeah. So I dropped this guy off. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I end up looking it up, and it's like this hotel that's got like all this new age stuff, and then an incredible restaurant.
Incredible, and but
Yeah.
nobody knows what the building was originally intended for.
Right,
like, there's no like record of what it was for. So it
Oh,
may
wow.
have been a cult. It may
Yeah.
have been always been a hotel. Anyway, the point of this was literally the best potato leek soup I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
An this was 6 months ago, and I'm still thinking about that fucking soup. I'm like, I almost want to go back there and overpay for dinner just to have that fucking soup again.
Yeah. It's definitely a fancy.
Sitting in like stone booths. It
Yeah.
was like low stone booths with like
Make you
pillow
sit on rocks.
outside. Well, it was like nice. It was like good like cushioning and pillows on it and stuff. But like
the whole thing is like a rock garden that they
yeah,
built, and it's
all like outside with like fairy lights, and it's like a very romantic place
For
Like,
sure, yeah.
Okay.
While there, I was like, I think at least 4 people are getting engaged here tonight. There was definitely a wedding happening when we were there.
yeah.
But
it's-
also, with a new age bookstore attached to it. It's so
I'll have
weird.
to write that down.
yeah, Inn of the Seventh Ray. If you're in LA, check it out.
Yeah, go check it out.
Although the one weird thing, I might have told this on the show when it happened, but my mom she was trying to order, they have just bowls of soup.
Yeah.
And she was trying to order a cup of soup. And she was like, oh, do you guys have just cups of soup? And the guy looked at her like she had just asked for a flying hot dog bun. Like,
What are you insane?
like she was like, and he literally went like, you want me to pour the soup into a cup? And she's like, no, like
a smaller portion.
a smaller portion of, like, he had never heard, he'd either never heard that term, or
I
he
love stupid people. I really do. They're so
Are you
entertaining.
talking about River's mom or the guy?
the guy? The guy
River
saying,
Mom
"You
asked
want
a
me to
perfectly
pour
reasonable
I
question.
was gonna say, my mom asked for a
she
normal
asked for a
thing.
perfectly reasonable request. The fact that he said, "You want me to pour soup into a cup?"
Yeah.
like you want me to get a fucking coffee mug and put soup in?
Well, maybe it's such a fancy restaurant they're trained to react to those kinds
Yeah,
of
like
requests.
they want to make you
Yeah.
feel like a rube.
I can't believe you just that's not on the menu.
What?
Yeah.
What are you
think
asking?
this is a Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Cup of
A
soup.
cup of soup. He literally asked her that. Yeah, would you want me to pour that into a cup? Like, I wish, in hindsight, she should have been like, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Just to
yes.
see what would happen.
I just want to try the fucking soup. I don't need a gallon of it. Okay.
Yeah.
She could've just
So I'll
like-
tell you, if it was that potato leek soup, soup.
probably
She would have
was.
wanted all of it.
She could have just told him like, "Hey, go back in the kitchen and ask them what that is."
right. Yeah, ask the chef.
Could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine like walking in and asking a chef? She wants to put the soup in a cup.
Heard of this?
The chef
It's be a new thing.
You're in my way. Move.
And the chef like comes out all angry with a knife.
Oh,
kitchen
definitely. That's a get yelled at thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now I wanted to mention. So I think we talked about it on here really early on in the pandemic. We Sam Carter and I all got really heavy into Gordon Ramsay at one point, like right towards the beginning. And
he has a lot of TV shows to get into.
There's
Dude,
a lot.
his-
of
his-
Gordon Ramsay
Rivers, we got to
content.
go to the Hell's Kitchen experience in Vegas.
I'm down,
We got to
I'm down.
go.
I'll eat a fucking egg if Gordon Ramsay's there screaming at
I'll
me.
tell you that Scotch egg's delicious.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's so many things on that. There's like
He's got some classics.
You know, I'd give it a try. But that he had that episode of Hot Ones where he ate the spice,
God,
and it's
yes.
Infamous.
and it's the funniest shit because the whole time he is literally just screaming about how the chicken wings taste like. He's like, it tastes like fucking cardboard. Like he hates the wings.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have.
But the hot sauce is getting him because he's
Oh
super
yeah,
British.
it's making him more and more angry. It's the funniest shit because he's getting more and more pissed the
Yeah.
spicier the wings get about the
I
wings.
should wipe my ass with these chicken wings.
It's so funny, but
and I think from watching that show, they buy plain wings from like a chain pizza restaurant.
That's what they do.
yeah.
They go to like a
And
Buffalo
that's-
Wild Wings and
that's
get naked
awful.
wings.
That's awful.
And then just toss them with the sauce.
Right.
When
Yeah.
they get back to the studio.
And apparently they're cold.
And
by
they're
the time you
cold,
get
yeah.
them. But anyway,
that's-
in response to that episode, Gordon Ramsay, because I guess everybody was like, all right, well, how do you fucking do them?
Yeah.
So he has a YouTube video where he goes through his wing process.
Oh my God.
Fuck. And they're
Yeah.
not even fried. They're amazing. And so
Does he
like
do a baked wing?
And yeah, so like the
That's
rest,
what I do.
and so I've been doing this shit. Like I got the big cast iron skillet that you can stick in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
So you preheat to 375, toss the wings in a shitload of garlic powder and smoked paprika, sear them with a it's Gordon Ramsay, so
Yeah.
an unreasonable amount of butter, and then flip them and then just stick them in the oven for like 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Unfucking believable, man.
Have you seen his nonsense grilled cheese? Like when he's like,
No.
I'm going to show you how to make the perfect grilled cheese.
I used to work
and
at
it
a-
is nonsense. Like it is absolute fucking nonsense. The bread is not going to. It's like this thick fucking bread.
Oh, is it like a
it's like
Pullman
this
loaf bread?
hard cheese that's not going to melt. He cooks it in a fucking brick oven. Like are you
And you go outside,
you
go brick up.
pretentious? Fuck it. Are you kidding?
British versions of American sandwiches are fucked. They're always
Oh, they're
so weird.
hilarious.
I've never heard of peanut butter and jelly. What are you talking about?
Peanut butter goes with a ham and Swiss.
Yeah, they're baffled by the concept of peanut butter being used in anything outside of baking. They're like, what? That's dessert. Why would you put that on a sandwich?
Go eat
Peanut
some
butter's
mashed
dessert?
peas, you weirdo.
Yeah.
Hey, mushy peas are pretty good.
No.
When they're made well, they're good.
Yeah,
But
when they're
bad,
yeah.
they're
when they're bad, they're
They're
peas that
disgusting.
somebody squished with a fork.
yeah. when they're made well, they're
When they're
actually
made
pretty
well.
Well, speaking of being made well,
Oh
good.
boy.
Oh, Lord.
let's launch into our ungodly concoction for the week.
Oh no, this one looks crazy.
So
This one's a Snapchat parody.
Yeah.
this is
Is that what it is?
It looks like it.
so
yeah.
this is a brand that we've had before, but we haven't had this flavor. This is Ghost, and of course they have Carnipure Carnitine in it, and this is the Swedish Fish variety.
This is gonna be so
It looks
bad.
like-
Oh no, I think it's
Snapchat.
going to be
I
great.
think it's going to be disgusting.
Oh well, we'll see.
I don't like Swedish fish. I think
See,
it's an
and I like Swedish fish.
They're a weird
So-
texture. It's a texture thing.
It is a
with
texture
Swedish
thing.
Yeah.
I like the
Maybe
flavor of a
it's the
Swedish
texture.
fish
Well then,
I can't get past the texture.
yeah.
because
There's
it's
very
kind
few
of like a
things that I
little
don't
hard
like,
on the
but-
outside. Like if you get the big ones, they're like the
Yeah.
tiniest bit hard on the outside. If you get the little Swedish fish, those are always
They're
like
better.
way better. Ones you'll get out of like a vending machine, way better than like the big
It's all
fat.
disgusting.
You gotta get the fresh
it's all
ones.
trying to sort of pretend to be like a gummy thing, and if it's not a Haribo gummy bear, I don't want it.
Ugh, really?
Yeah.
Ugh, I'd take Albanese over Haribo any day of the week.
Yeah. So I'm not a big sweets person, so I have like the 5 or 6 sweet things that I mess with, and I don't fuck with anything else.
Oh,
So like when I go out like dessert options, I like if you don't have vanilla creme brulee on your menu, I'm not having dessert.
Ooh, that was funny when Joe was talking about having dessert. I'm just like sitting here very embarrassed. I'm like, I don't think I've ever been to a restaurant where I could control myself enough to have room for dessert. Usually I'm just.
I usually don't. It's like when it's like the parents are in town, we're going out to dinner.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, yeah, let's look at a dessert menu.
I
Let's
can have
see.
room for dessert
Because we can all
but
share it. That's the
I
tea.
know.
It's like a table of four.
Right,
you know,
right.
oh,
Or
we'll just have
sometimes,
a
like,
little bit.
When I go to Asian restaurants, if they have like fried banana ice cream, then I mess with that. That's delicious.
I'd rather get 2 appetizers.
But yeah, I would rather get two appetizers. I was saying I'll get like an appetizer, an entree, and then have another appetizer as my dessert.
I ask the waiter, like if they're like, "Oh, do you guys want to look at a dessert menu?" I'll like point blank. I'll be like, "Is there one on there that's like totally worth it, or is there just like regular desserts?" And a lot of the
Yeah.
times they're like, "Oh, it's just regular stuff. It's nothing really,
Yeah, we don't have
nothing
no
really
specials.
incredible." Yeah,
I
But
wouldn't- yeah.
once in a while, you'll get one that's like, "Oh, we've got this toffee bread pudding on
Yeah.
there," and you're like, "Yeah. Just bring that, and 1 spoon for me."
I don't need any fudge. Go ahead and make my triple dippers a sextuple dippers, please. That's me.
I'm addicted. I'm an old lady now, so I'm addicted to the Live with Kelly and Ryan show in the
Oh
mornings.
no.
But there was an interview last week, I think, was it last week or the week before last, something like that. Anyway, with Morris Chestnut, and he was talking about how he only picks restaurants based on what they have for dessert.
Interesting.
So he won't even
Okay.
go to the restaurant if it doesn't have a dessert that he's interested
Well,
in.
I could see that logic because, like, if there's a dessert,
He's
like,
like,
if
I'm
there's
a
a
sweet
good
tooth.
dessert menu, then that means they give a shit enough about
true.
dessert as it's just as much as important as it is the rest of the meal. Like, it's all got to be good.
I think for him that would be a good like sort of like secondary reason, but it's just like I am eating this entree because I want dessert, but
That's
I don't want to
funny.
look like
Yeah.
an idiot.
All right, let's
get that can
let's
noise.
hold for a moment. This is everybody's favorite part of the show. Please hold. Okay.
Whoa, that is not the color I was expecting.
Ghost is always clear.
Oh, okay.
Most energy
Ghost
drinks
is always
are
clear.
This is an
found
energy
out.
drink?
Yes.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll take the
You
little
take the little one.
because the caffeine messed me up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Feel free.
Oh, here I go.
I think Joe got this.
Oh,
Joe
it
got the
smells
the,
like
the sick
fucking
pour.
dog shit.
Oh,
Smells like
like-
Swedish fish.
Smells like blue
Smells
raspberry.
like-
Smells-
It smells like
smells
candy
like-
from my
Oh,
childhood.
boy.
Like,
Guys, it smells like the seas of Scandinavia.
I haven't
All right,
smelled
shall we?
this
Okay.
smell in like 25 years.
Oh, it tastes good though.
It tastes
oh
like
wow, that's really good.
tastes like the Swedish fish. Oh,
It tastes like
God.
Kool-Aid,
Sweet tarts, kind of.
carbonated Kool-Aid. I like.
Ooh,
th-
no, I don't like it. Oh no.
no.
As far as energy
Rivers-
drinks go,
Rivers will drink the rest of yours.
I will absolutely drink all of yours if you're.
I kind of like. I mean, the thing is, it's not confidence, and if it's not
No,
confidence,
yeah,
like
yeah.
That's the thing is, after I was literally poisoned on
yeah.
this show, anything's going to be a step up from there. Like anything.
I don't like this.
No.
What do you
I
think it
mean-
tastes like?
Yeah.
It's sort of. It tastes like those. What do they call them? Like sweetums or like a sweet tart, like what you're talking about.
Sweet tart.
It tastes like a sweet tart, like a Halloween candy. Sweet
Smarties, maybe.
Smarties. That's what I'm thinking.
I
of.
gotta say, I think they kind of nailed the Swedish
Nerd.
fish flavor.
I'm getting like blue Kool-Aid. Like I am getting
Blue
Swedish
raspberry,
fish, but I am getting like a blue Kool-Aid out of this.
Did you ever see? And this was like just.
I've only had red and grape Kool-Aid, so I don't know what blue Kool-Aid
It's
is.
like a tropical punch, I think, is the blue one.
Yeah, this was just like a very quick like here and gone. I think it was a couple years ago. They had a Swedish fish Oreo.
Yes, I tried it and it was awful.
It was so weird.
I try every novelty Oreo that
Same,
comes out. I
same.
just have to
That
know.
sounds like it wouldn't
I
go
will spend
together.
$3 to just have a good laugh over how fucking bad some of these ones are.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
no.
once in a while, you got one. You're like, this is fucking great. Like the
Yeah.
s'mores ones were really good.
The mint, I felt like
Mint's,
that was
mint's
I
fine.
have a friend
It's-
from college who's really into trying every flavor of Oreo, and he lives in Texas in Houston. So there's like a store there that always has all the flavors.
Yeah.
Like, but sometimes they get in like the new ones, but it almost always has like 15, 16 different flavors. of
That's
Oreo.
because Houston doesn't have zoning laws, so they
Yeah.
have a strip club next to a daycare, next to a church, next to a place that sells
So,
1,000
those-
types of
Yeah,
Oreos.
so it's like a regular grocery store that just has like a huge Oreos section. Like Oreos like bought out this section.
Shit.
I mean, it's like
all
the
of our
American.
products.
It's like the.
So every week he does a review. Him and his daughter do a review.
Oh, that's
cute.
great. That's great.
It's like we are to Oreos what Japan is to the Kit Kat. They're just putting them out left and right.
Well, it was funny. I had a bit about this, and I did it in my hometown where I was talking about all the weird Oreo flavors and stuff like that. And then I came back home like the next year and didn't do that bit. And afterwards, some lady came up to me with a giant stack of like novelty Oreos. She's like, "Oh yeah, I brought this because of your joke." I was like, "Oh shit! Well, you should have told me I'd done the fucking joke before the thing, and I'd have props. It would have been so much better."
Like fluffy.
I was watching something on
You
YouTube.
know how people bring him cakes?
Did people bring him cakes?
That he used to talk about it. Gabriel and what's his name? And
Gabriel
Fluffy,
Iglesias.
yeah.
Oh,
Fluffy.
okay. Yeah.
I have his action figure signed, and it comes with a little cake.
No shit.
I love that.
That's amazing.
I absolutely
That's
love
a
that.
great piece of
Look,
marketing.
Yeah.
folks, find your brand and ride that shit
Wow.
forever.
Talk about, like that's a merch.
Yeah,
That is a merch. That's merch goals.
Yeah.
I got it for free. It's the most prized possession in my home. I hung it on the wall.
That's amazing. I was watching something on YouTube. I can't remember what thing it was, but these people were taste testing different types of Doritos, and they had a Mountain Dew Dorito.
Remember that?
Like, that was from Australia, I think. It sounded disgusting.
I wanted to try it. I'll try it anything. I love a novelty snack. I think it's all so stupid and
Same.
funny.
Same.
Like I think me and you are kindred spirits with that. I was like, it's worth the $2 for the joke. Like
Yeah.
in my head, like they had for a while. Because I love finding snacks at 7-Eleven because they have things in there that you will never see in a store ever again.
Right.
And they, for a brief period, had Taco Bell hot sauce flavored chips.
Oh yeah, those are great.
So whenever I see those things, I'm
Incredible.
always just like, this is an abomination. This is against
Yeah,
God.
same.
But it was
I don't even believe in
but
God.
it was
I'm
just
this
like-
is against
it was basically just Doritos, but like with like the seasoning on it was just like
With a
mild
dip-
sauce
with
or
a
hot
different
sauce or
brand.
Fiat
Yeah.
Fire or
For
Diablo.
that type of stuff, I wouldn't mind. But like if I saw like they had like a pizza flavored Dorito, and I'm like, isn't
Oh,
that
I
just a
hate that.
regular
I hate
Dorito?
that.
Yeah.
But
If
with,
it's not
like,
a
a little
combo, get pizza out of there.
Isn't it like it's just a regular Dorito with like a little bit of a marinara flavor to it?
I
Yeah.
like pepperoni pizza combos.
Oh, those are great.
Those are good.
Although I will say, at a certain point, I do get bored with the pretzels, and I just start eating the little inside
Oh
part.
well, there's no pretzel on the pepperoni anymore. It's now like a cracker, like a yeah.
Oh, okay, or whatever.
The pretzel one is exclusively with the cheddar cheese, which are unbelievably good.
I've never
Still,
had combos. I have no idea what they
Whoa.
do.
it's basically just cheese and pretzel.
Looks
Okay.
like a dog treat. It's
It does-
hilarious.
Yeah,
I've
they're
seen
little
them
they're
and they
little
do look
pretzel
like a-
nuggets
yeah.
with like a little cheese stick in the middle.
Oh God!
Processed cheese
They
stick.
look like a dog treat.
I'm not
and
a
you know
huge-
what?
yeah.
They're fucking good, Sam. All right, maybe I'm a dog.
I'm a little doggy. I
I'm
love
a
them.
snacker, but I like simple things. Like I have a baggie of Goldfish crackers in my purse right now.
Ooh,
Hey,
there you
I
go.
love gold. Hey,
And
simple.
then I eat boar's head pepperoni just straight from
Ooh,
the bag.
that's the good life you're describing. We call that
My cured meats.
Eating little salamis right out of the packaging. Yeah, that's my kind of afternoon.
Yeah, but
Just-
only Boar's Head brand. I don't want any other brand.
okay.
Hey, we
So like when I order it from Instacart and they're like, "Do you want like this other brand?" I'm like, "No,
We-
fuck off."
Anytime I do any of that, like ordering stuff, like I make it very clear. I'm like,
Yeah.
no substitutes
Yeah.
on anything. I like it is.
I'd rather not have.
I'd rather not have it. If I'm asking for a specific brand of something, it's because I want that.
Yeah.
I want that ice
For certain
cream.
things, I have substitutions, but for my pepperonis,
Sure.
I don't want no substitutions, please.
But like when I'm
And
getting
then they
like
always have
whole
trouble
milk.
finding it. I'm always like, I have to direct them. I'm like, there's an end cap between deli and produce.
Yes.
And that's where you want to go. Like, I guarantee you it's there.
Well, I wanted to say shout out to our friend Paul, listening in the UK, keeping track of all of these ungodly concoctions that we keep drinking. Let's go ahead and rate. We'll go ahead and rate it. I'm calling this. Out of 5 stars.
Out of 5?
Man, I might have to go 4.5.
I'm gonna give it 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
The nose on it is terrible.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
smells terrible, but I like the taste enough to
Yeah.
give it 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
get
a 2 for me.
It's a 2. Okay.
Like, it makes my mouth, my tongue is like dry.
Yeah.
now.
Oh, well, that's the Carnotine. You're experiencing epic focus, Clee. You're
Epic
experiencing
focus.
Carnotine?
legendary. No one knows. These are
These are all make 'em ups.
They make them up. They have.
But I shouldn't drink something and my mouth tastes drier than before.
Rivers and I taste these on another level now. 'cause
Yeah.
We can compare them to every other energy drink
Yeah, see, I
ever
don't-
made.
yeah.
This one, ones that more or less taste like soda, which does dry your mouth out
Yeah.
on its own, are the best ones, unfortunately.
I think one of my favorite reactions I've ever had to one of these, I'd gotten I think it was a Ray's Baja Lime, which I still consider to be the Rolls Royce of all energy drinks. And I had that one, and I was staying with my friend Charlie in Chicago. And Charlie doesn't even fuck with soda at all. He just drinks sweet tea and shit. And so he was like, "What does that even taste like?" I was like, "Oh, give it a try." And he literally just went oh, whoa, blah, had this very audible reaction to it, and I was like, "Yeah, you don't fuck with soda. You've just dove right into the deep end. This is the soda beyond."
I drink basically two things: water and vodka. Literally.
Hell yeah!
My only 5 out of 5 energy drink that I've ever had is the Dragon Fruit Red Bull. That's my favorite thing. It is so nice.
See, dragon fruit's a delicious flavor, though.
It's really nice.
Do you drink energy drinks ever?
No.
Okay, so that explains
Not in
why
my-
you hate this.
The last time I had
You're
an
normal.
drink is honestly maybe 15 or 20 years ago.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah. Thanks for
Relapse.
Yeah, relapse.
No.
Ships in the harbor and birds on the bluff don't move an inch when their anchor goes up, and the difference with me is I'm falling in love. Stockholm, let me go home. Let me go. Let me go home.
I wanted to talk about an issue that is affecting my hometown of Auburn, Alabama, and seemingly many places around our fine country. So I'm part of the What's Happening in Opelika and Auburn Facebook group.
Here we go.
And
I'm sure it's terrible.
it is hilarious.
this is always fun.
Well, there's a woman named Gayla. This has nothing to do with the story I want to talk about, but just for instance, what's going on. There was a woman named Gayla who got on there and was basically running a scam to get a free car, where she was like, my husband's car broke down, and then some guy offered her a car, and then she got the car and then took it to another guy to get it fixed, and then just skipped out on the bill, and then that guy sued her, and then she countersued, and so there's running jokes all throughout what's happening in Auburn.
That's a soap opera.
Oh,
That is
and
its own epic tale.
Gayla's on TikTok, and she is amazing. She's got an oxygen tank, and she sings a bunch.
Her name is Gail or Gayla?
Gayla, G-A-Y-L-A.
Gail
Gayla.
is his mom.
Yeah, Gail's my mom. No,
Yeah,
my mom
yeah.
don't fuck with TikTok. If I'm not on TikTok, Gail's not on TikTok. This is Gayla. But yeah, so
Gail, get on TikTok.
Get on there, Gail. I'll follow you.
she actually does. She told me when I talked to her this week that. So I think I mentioned this on the show. She wants to make like an advertisement, kind of a commercial parody for her invention, which is basically a gigantic adult-sized bib. Because her and my dad just sit there and eat dinner in the big ass Lazy Boys, and so she's
Incredible.
got this huge cloth, and she's got a little elastic
blanket.
a dinner blanket.
It's her
That's the
eating
name.
dress.
There we go. Yeah, dinner blanket. Yeah,
You're right.
It's my favorite term that I ever is just when you call it this is my eating dress.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a tablecloth
it.
that you
Yeah.
wear. Well, and
I need that when I go to the Vegas buffet. And
yeah. Well, that's the thing is she was trying to she was like, I'll make you one. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then cut to every time I go home, I absolutely spill shit on myself, and I'm just like, fuck. She's
right.
She's
Like,
right.
That's why you need the eating cloth.
Yeah, that's why you need the dinner blanket. Dinner blanket is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
That's the
Dinner blanket is the funniest.
Yeah,
Like,
dinner blanket.
but yeah. So
It's
anyway,
like a Snuggie, but for your dinner.
so one of the big things that's been going on at the What's Happening in Opelika and Auburn Facebook group is there's a big controversy brewing at the local kind of outdoor, our version of the Grove, like a big outdoor kind of big box / mall. It's called Tiger Town.
Great.
And there's a guy who is out there with a like a little battery powered amplifier, like you might see at a backyard comedy show. And he has a violin. And he is pretending to play the violin while violin music is blasting out of the amplifier. And he's like,
art.
yeah, that's my point.
I'm a big fan.
I am a huge
Air
fan.
violin, but with a real violin.
He's got a real
I'm a big
violin.
fan.
And so now when you go on the Opelika and Auburn Facebook page, like people are posting videos of this guy playing, and then people who actually play the violin are like, this is bullshit. Like they're so mad about it.
They
but-
are violin people, very high strung.
I played violin when I was a
Bam.
kid, and I feel like this is legit.
yeah, and
As
he's
an ex-violin player, I approve.
You approve. No, that's the thing. You're an ex-violin
Yeah.
player. If you're still playing the
current,
violin
yeah.
as an adult person, you are not fun
Yeah.
to be
The only
around.
thing is, there's so many fucking posers out there. Dude.
Yeah.
Everyone is trying to pretend they
Well,
play the violin, and it's bullshit.
well, so
Yeah.
Did you even play in a quartet, bro?
well, so this
Have you
dude
played a wedding, bro?
this dude is pulling down bank because every comment, whenever this gets posted, is someone just being like, I gave that guy $20, and they're just mad that they gave him money. And I'm like,
I mean, first of all, 20, that seems excessive.
or
Like,
whatever, you know,
if you're not buying a CD or something,
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
seems like an
You gotta
excess.
support
So
the
that's on
art.
you.
right. Well, that's what they think.
A
and they-
fiver would be the.
A fiver. There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
That's what you tip a street musician.
Well, people
Absolutely.
people who gave him that amount of money are mad about it too. Like they're just like, I actually gave this guy money because I felt bad for him and I thought he was
gives a
talented.
shit?
And I'm like, first of all, literally everything you like is fake.
Yeah.
Like name me a thing that's not, sports, and even that to some degree, the fucking refs are all paid off. We know this.
oh man, that player just he got suspended for a season
yeah.
because he was gambling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we
On the
go.
game.
Yeah,
And
so
his Twitter response to that was hilarious.
Yeah,
Right.
he only gambled $1,200.
He's like, it's only
That's
$1,200.
crazy.
But
that
then
is psychotic. that
Somebody
he gets,
put
like,
together a super cut of him playing where sometimes he'll like run forward and then just like try to dodge a player and then run back a couple
And, like-
yards and dive on the
But
ground.
everybody- like,
It's like,
everybody-
oh.
Everybody's response is like $1,200 just cost you $11 million.
millions of fucking dollars. Exactly. But, to my point, it's like, yeah, okay, that is roughly, in an ethical way at least, basically the same as the guy with the fake violin playing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
it's the same goddamn thing. So the fact that you enjoyed the football game,
Yeah.
despite the fact that you didn't know until now that dude was gambling and kind of like whatever.
Definitely running backwards when he was on offense.
I would love to. The supercut, he's just like doing the robot and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
You're 3 yards from the goal.
Yeah.
he should have just hit his wife. He would have only gotten like a couple of games back.
Yeah. He's like, I would never.
But that was my point. I'm like, everything is fake. So if you enjoyed it and you gave the guy money, then guess what? You enjoyed it. And now
Yeah.
that you can't go back and be mad now that it's, I mean, I guess you can. You won't give it to him again. He won't get you twice, maybe.
I am
but, like,
retroactively no longer entertained.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I got curious about this thing. I was like, I'll look into it. So I typed in like fake violin parking lot guy. And apparently this is a ring.
It's a ring.
It is a ring, and it is
Just uncover.
and it is going on all over the country.
Wow.
From Arizona to Florida, California, Alabama,
yeah.
the whole. There's fucking reports of this shit going on
If they're out here, they
everywhere.
must be in Santa Monica or something.
So apparently they
I'm stunned.
That's amazing.
they rotate. First of all, they travel in like a big minivan, and they'll roll up, and then they'll take turns throughout the week. Different people manning either violin and then in some cases accordion. So those are the two instruments usually.
Fake accordion.
That would maybe an electric one or something.
Maybe
but-
because like that's
You don't
if
press
you're
any buttons,
pressed.
does it make any noise?
yeah,
I guess
well,
it
there's a
absolutely
well,
does.
well, no, but there's
Slash a bunch of holes in the back of it.
No. There is a button on an accordion that just runs air straight through the bellows.
Okay.
So you could theoretically have your finger on that button.
Oh,
and
that
then
one
pretend to
button.
bullshit.
Okay.
Theoretically, I might be wrong. Tweet at me
Because I know if you're not pressing anything and you just press an accordion together, it will make an ungodly elderly noise.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing. They roll up into town. They'll, like, I guess, either live out of the van or get a hotel, and then they'll put out a sign with some sob story where it's like, just trying to pay my mom's rent, and then they'll, like, pretend to play, and then
They must be pulling in a pretty decent amount of money.
yeah,
definitely.
they're pulling in.
Like.
And I looked in the pictures of all these people. They're different people. They all have the same verbiage on the sign. All the signs said, all the signs are handwritten, but they all say, like, just trying to pay my mom's rent, or wife and kids and no money, that kind of thing. And it's a ring. It's everywhere.
Wow.
I mean, I grew up on Haight Street in San Francisco, where like everybody begs for money, and those were a lot. There were a couple of rings.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
used
yeah,
to
yeah.
run. So I living there, I eventually like figured out like who's a legitimate street kid and who's like part of a ring.
Yeah,
And I was just like, and I would see them sometimes when I worked. My aunt and uncle owned a coffee shop that was right below our apartment. So I started working at like 6 a.m, and I would see them like literally getting out of like a Mercedes Benz and then come and sit on my front steps and beg for money.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not giving you shit. I just saw you get out of a Mercedes Benz. You have a nicer car than my parents do.
It's New York City. It's
Yeah.
the St. Mark's crust punks. Like, not all of you came in on the fucking Metro North from Westchester, from
Yeah, or they
gigantic
would come
fucking
across
houses.
from from Marin.
To come here and live your punk rock drag fantasy. Like, you're putting on crust punk drag, and you're living your poor fantasy.
Yeah, you would see those kids like on the weekends or at night.
yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, so you took the train or the bus over here from Marin? That's
With
Yeah.
this gorgeously groomed dog that you're
Yeah.
trying to tell me is like your
this is a
street dog.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
street dog.
It's like a purebred Rottweiler, like
This
gorgeous
terrier.
coat.
Yeah. This terrier that still has Totino's pizza breath. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm not. But like the ones, like you could tell who the legitimate, because you'd see them every day,
Yeah.
all like at different times of the day.
Totally.
Well, with all that said, I'm in favor of this. I love
Yeah, why not?
going
Go for it.
and
Who
it's not
A
like
busking ring.
but a fake busking ring is
Yeah.
hilarious, and it's not even they're not even seemingly doing it in like big cities.
Yeah.
They're going to suburbs, like
That's
places
funny.
like where I'm from, and hitting these giant one of those big places that's got
Yeah,
an Old
yeah.
Navy and a Home Depot and like a big outdoor
Absolutely.
area, and just making money hand over fist. And I'm like, this fucking rules because of how pissed everyone's getting. It's hilarious. This is from KETK, which is in East Texas. This is just from their Facebook here. Aaliyah Bidgood, which great name. They keep hanging out on the corner by Walmart. Lucky for them, we can inform them that pretty much every fast food place in the area is hiring, and we don't need to give them handouts. So glad we can help inform them of this, and they will soon be serving us our food.
Sure.
Kill yourself.
I'm like, they will.
If it's a ring, they don't give a shit.
They
about
will
the
literally
fucking
go
fast
to
food.
one interstate exit down and go to the next Old Navy,
Yeah.
and they'll do it again and fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean we'll get a job? Oh, that's crazy because we make more money in a day than we would at a fucking week's.
Bingo, and you're dumb enough to
Work.
fall for it.
Yeah.
So whatever, who cares? And then
Like,
also, it's totally like letting the mask slip of them being like, "Oh, they'll soon be serving us our food," and you're
Rivers,
like,
they don't
yeah.
wear masks.
No, they
These are
don't.
not-
No,
these
that's
are-
true. That's very true. But I just love that they're
It's
like,
also like I always love that those types of people always have this fantasy of these people like getting their comeuppance and serving them the food.
Yeah.
This isn't
Yeah.
Back to the Future. Like Biff isn't gonna buff your car.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not gonna happen.
yeah. This one is Michael M, and he is indeed holding a violin in his profile picture.
Oh, boy, yes.
I've never been mistaken for a fake. I got too much original style.
Yeah, you put some stank on it.
I'm glad you were going to address the issue, however, as it is very simply to try to profit as a fake when the real musicians who spend years learning and perfecting the craft are looking for opportunities. It's like, go to the Home Depot.
Yeah, man.
And, like,
Yeah,
get out there
man.
with your amp and your fucking
Yeah, but
real violin.
I was-
Every
playing.
woman gets wet for my Chopin.
I was
Everybody-
Chopin. I'm saying
know.
you
I'm
go
just-
down.
that's just a
you,
name.
You go down there and challenge him to a fiddle contest like the devil, and the
Yeah.
devil went down to Georgia. That's how you do that as a
Yeah.
musician. That's
like, are you mad that you didn't think of it first, or are
That's-
you mad that he's
that's
Yeah.
it.
making money?
Yeah.
Like,
Are
what are
you
you mad at? And
can-
go do it yourself if it's
Yeah.
so
Are
like.
you competing for that sidewalk space right there?
I mean, unless he took your corner, then that's
Yeah.
which is a legit beef. That's hood shit.
This was
Then don't be mad.
This was my favorite one. Lori P, one violin player here in Shreveport, doesn't even have strings on his violin.
Oh, that's hilarious.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
Art.
No, listen to what he said. I said something about it to him, and he said, quote, "It's electric and it Bluetooths to my speaker."
That Way to have an answer.
Mad respect. These strings are Bluetooth. I love it.
That's somebody who does crowd work. That's the Rosie Rosenberg of fake bluster violinists. Because he's got an answer for everything.
That's remarkably impressive. That you just have that in your back pocket.
It's Bluetooth, babe.
It's Bluetooth.
Bluetooth, babe.
These strings aren't invisible. They're Bluetooth. You moron.
Yeah.
Don't you know how music works?
Wow.
See, I just pulled up a video screen like I'm on an episode of Star Trek Discovery.
But by far the maddest person about all this was Dan Shearer, writing for the Green Valley, Arizona News. So this got a full fucking opinion piece, newspaper editorial written about it.
For the Green Valley. Oh,
this is from Arizona. I wrote in Wednesday's newsletter about a scam involving fake violin players panhandling at supermarket parking lots. I heard 2 of them were at Sprouts in Sahurita on Tuesday. I drove over as fast as I could. And you're like,
do that investigative
TV
journalism,
people.
like,
Dan.
how do you have this much fucking time?
He's an investigative journalist.
I guess.
Just not a care
Rivers,
in the
this is his
fucking
job.
world. Just doesn't have a life.
He's gotta
doesn't
leave
have
the-
Netflix. Just
He's got to leave the newsroom and really dig down the story.
his YouTube channel's starting to grow.
So he goes over to where these people are playing and he says, I proceeded to tell people who were approaching them that it's all fake. So there's like these people doing this and there's just a crazy man being
my
like,
fart smell like cauliflower. I'm
You know
mad
what
about it.
I'm wondering if
Yeah.
these are those like not
asshole.
like gypsies, but like that culture of like there's like a group of like
Oh, yeah, like-
Americans who like
yeah.
who travel around and basically do scams. I
Train
wonder if
hoppers.
Yeah, they had the
they're not like train hoppers, but they're like it's literally like
there was like a Eddie Izzard series about it on FX.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I-
And I'm
the
sure Law and
Riches.
Order-
Yeah,
I
the
loved
Riches.
that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Law and Order did a ripped from the headlines TV show episode about it.
I love it when they be ripping.
Yeah, ripped from the headlines. Like, and there's like a group of people. It's not a very big group. It's maybe got 200 people in it.
Yeah.
So this guy's standing out in the parking lot telling people it's fake, and then he decides to go talk to the guy who's playing the violin. So I like that those were the order he went in. He says, I then approached the guy and said, I knew it wasn't him playing the violin, and asked, why are you lying to people? And his response surprised me. Italiano, no English. Awesome.
So good.
It's this type of reporting though, that lets me know that this is why he still works for the Green Valley News in Arizona and not
yeah.
for the New York Times. He's not a very good investigative journalist.
Yeah.
Sort of like he's willing to do the legwork, but he does not do it right.
Well, this is essentially
He's working harder, not
he's
smarter.
getting himself in the story. This is Gonzo
And he
at this
doesn't
point.
speak Italian.
Italiano, no English.
Could have helped further
that
this
exact accent, I'm sure, too.
investigation.
Playing dumb is a great way to avoid responsibility, except that the language barrier ruse was just another lie. And I told him so. And I told him in English and perfectly passable Spanish, which is close enough to
It is
Italian.
close enough.
Yeah.
I also told him that.
Yeah, we'll get
It is. No, honestly,
enough.
it is. Like, you could pick up on it. If
Yeah.
you- if-
Yeah. But I
Same romance language roots.
yeah. So the guy ends up staying there until the guy picked up the violin and left, and just like yelling at
Doing
anybody
what?
who would
I-
pass by.
There's a part I wish it was any other language. Like I told him in English and perfect Japanese.
American Sign Language.
In my perfect German, sprechen Sie Deutsch.
in my perfect Zulu.
Yeah, I spoke Gyoza to him. It's the language of Wakanda.
Yeah.
I spoke perfect Afrikaan.
Esperanto.
Yeah.
The last part says, if these people were legitimate, honest, and freely admitted to flat out begging, they'd have to change their signs to, quote, I pick up a quick tax-free $200 a day doing this. It's better than a real job because it's easy to emotionally manipulate you. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's fucking not.
That's
You
why
Oh
gotta.
my
doing it
God.
this way. So
These
he
are
wants
sounding
them to
like
be
breakup
honest.
posts.
You
Like,
gotta
I've
be-
been emotionally manipulated by the violence.
Cheated on me.
Yeah. And I'm like, what is entertainment if not emotional manipulation?
We were talking about buyer's remorse
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
what
it
this
comes
is.
back to
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is.
I pretended my money was going to something I cared about, but now that I see it wasn't exactly my choice, fuck these people.
I got to tell you,
And it's like
Rivers.
if you got If you got scammed by a scam artist, just take the L.
This is like barely a scam. This is just entertainment. It's what it is.
And it's just busking. Like,
yeah, it's like
it's not like they're getting scammed out of a life savings. It's like it's $20.
At most. They're being generous.
What this is walking out of a magic show and going, you mean he didn't stab that woman with a sword in the box?
Exactly.
What? I wanted to see a skewered woman.
You're telling me Chris Angel didn't done cut that lady in half, then put her back together for real?
Are you telling me that she didn't disappear to the multiverse and then return? Well, I feel duped.
Wait a minute. It's morning and the Statue of Liberty is still there. David Copperfield lied. Like, yeah, man, it's a magic show.
You're
fine.
telling me David Copperfield is doing the same stuff every night and it's not unique to my experience?
David Blaine is a liar and a weirdo? That is
God.
insane.
No way. He put himself in
nonsense.
ice.
Yeah.
I
Let
saw
me
it.
tell you.
That's magic.
He would do so much nonsense in New York. Like, I remember those things like being like in the news of like getting up in the morning. It's like, well, David Blaine's doing something ridiculous today.
Yeah, David Blaine standing on a 60-foot pole with only 1 foot. He's going to do it
In
for
the middle
7
of Times
days.
Square. And I'll tell you, I would go to school and I'd pass by, but like, oh my God, there's David Blaine.
Yeah.
He's really up there
He's
doing
up
his
there
thing.
for 7 days.
But yeah, this is from What's Happening in Opelika and Auburn. This one is from Tiffany. That man in Tiger Town is just standing there talking to his kid while the violin was quote unquote still playing. Don't let him see you watching. And he will show you that he's faking. So I love that. Like he's there, like talking
You couldn't
to.
tell unless you actually like watch him.
Yeah. And
Just watch him.
by the way, I'm pretty sure they do this on the Santa Monica Pier. Like I've seen, they've got the violin guys, and a lot of times
they're all over the country. They're in Santa Monica Pier. They're probably down in Pier 39 up in San Francisco. They're probably in the Paslap District in San Diego. Like we know where they are.
Alicia says,
Probably at the Citadel out there by the casinos.
Hanging out by the Alamo in Austin.
Alicia says the guy in Tiger Town was just playing.
San Antonio, not Austin. Sorry, I had to correct myself before somebody came for me.
Yeah.
The guy in Tiger Town was playing last weekend right outside of Best Buy, and I guess he forgot that the ads were going to play because an ad started to play over his loudspeaker.
That's all.
And we all saw him.
What if he just kept going like to like whatever the Spotify? That'd be incredible.
We saw him.
Give him more money.
I love that he has a Spotify ad,
and he won't. It's like, dude, get the ad free because it's a good investment.
Spotify. I got an ad-free Spotify family plan right now.
Yeah, we all saw him scrambling to stop it from playing, and the few people that were out there then dispersed, myself included. So again, this is a person who was enjoying it, and then the ruse was up.
How big a town is Auburn? Because I also feel like these people have nothing else to do but complain about this.
Yeah, well, so Auburn itself is about like 60,000 or so minus the college students. With the college students closer to 80, and then you've got the Opelika, which is right next to it, which is roughly the same, maybe a little
so
less.
60,000.
Yeah. So you're talking like 100,000, 150-ish, something like that.
Medium-ish town.
Very much medium town. And then the last one is, and this person has the right attitude, Sandra. Mm-hmm. It's fine either way. I enjoyed hearing it, and at least he's out there hustling and trying. It's better.
Would you rather him be breaking into your car with a crowbar?
Yeah.
You don't have to keep calling me out like this. Jesus. All right.
But yeah, Sandra, she's got the right attitude until the last sentence where she's like, better than the fake homeless people at the exit ramps. And you're like,
almost.
you were
she's got her.
You were so
there.
close.
Got her group.
Baby, you were so
there.
close.
She was so close to just being
she almost had the perfect attitude, which is who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's you. If you enjoyed it, if you got emotion out of it, and I say this as a person who deeply loves a fake sport, and I've watched it every week since I was fucking 11. If you got something out of Macho Man versus the Ultimate Warrior, who gives a shit that they weren't really fighting?
Exactly.
Yeah. And
I mean, the way Ed yells at NBA 2K, you'd think it was a legitimate game.
Right. Yeah. And
like literally, like he's playing and he's just like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Aren't you controlling the player?"
Yeah.
So, but he gets his enjoyment out of it. He goes away satisfied.
Yeah.
He gets his anger out a little bit that way.
I love it. But yeah, that's the fake violin crisis sweeping the country.
That's amazing.
That's wild, Rivers.
I love it.
It's insulting.
So last week we got some top threes on on Twitter. People, was like, hey, ask us.
These are fun.
Give us some top three categories, and we'll try to run through them. This one actually be perfect to do with you, Klee, because you already referenced two of these. At Jacob the Hodge, shout out to Jacob listening in Tuscaloosa.
Hi, Jacob.
Hiya.
Top three Marvel movies.
Oh, okay. Well, Endgame and Infinity War. And then, for the culture, I'd have to say Black Panther.
Sure.
But also, I guess, for the culture, because I recently did find out I'm a little bit Chinese, is Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I've actually literally have a note in my phone with my whole MCU ranking.
Oh, this is perfect, because I was going to stumble through this.
Yeah.
My 1, 2, 3 goes Black Panther, Thor, Ragnarok, and Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thor Ragnarok is definitely in my top 5.
Swiftly followed by Winter Soldier. The one that finally dethroned it was Shang-Chi, is what finally knocked Winter Soldier out of my top 3.
Probably my top 10 in no particular order would be Endgame and Infinity War, but you sort of have to know the universe up until that point to get them.
Yeah.
So then after that, it would probably be Shang-Chi, Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok, the first Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, we have very close to identical top 10s here.
Yeah, probably the first Avengers movie. Let's see, what else after that? Probably the first Iron Man, because that kicked it all off.
Yeah. Oh, that was a crazy summer.
That still has Paramount
that's so
logo on it
funny.
when you watch it.
Yeah. That was the
wild.
same. That's the same.
Hilarious.
That was the same summer as The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think. At Just a Clem, top 3 venues to perform at.
A Liquid Zoo, because you can do whatever you want there. It does, and it could be. I've played the Liquid Zoo at a mic. I've done book shows there. I've done it when it's packed. I've done it when it's literally empty. I was the only person besides either Ron or Ryan Talmo.
Yeah.
And
some of my best memories are at the Liquid Zoo.
You can do whatever you want.
You could commit a violent assault on stage and no one would know.
can.
Oh, I've got a video.
Same thing goes for what is that place? It's on Lankershim.
Universal Bar and Grill.
Universal Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
It's
That place.
Those two places are my two favorite mics.
I've actually done well at the Liquid Zoo. The Universal
Yeah.
Bar and Grill is a shit show every time.
At least you get your free Reese's cup from the bartender when you bomb.
Every time you perform there, you get a shit ton of candy from the bartender,
Yeah, 'cause she
who
feels
I think might have a heroin problem. I'm not sure.
You
But I
get
love
a
her.
piece of candy if you did well. You get a handful of candy if you bomb there.
At the very least, they got a Hershey problem.
Oh.
You know?
And she always remembers me. I can not go there for. One time I didn't go there for 2 years, and I went back, and she was like, "Oh, you're the one who only likes Snickers. Hold on." And went and took her bag of candy for a
I
Snickers.
love that.
One time I was performing there, and there was this old 70s porn star who was obsessed with my chest, and was got up on stage with me while I was performing and was trying to touch my boobs.
Oh.
And then she lifted up her shirt and she's like, "My boobs are just as good as hers." And she was 50, and at the time I was maybe 35, and I was like, "What are you doing? Get the hell out of here."
What's happening? What's number 3?
Number 3 would probably be the Comedy Store.
Okay, yeah. Institution, fair enough.
I don't really like the main room, but the belly room and the original room are the best.
What would you say, Joe? Top 3?
Well, this makes me want to kill myself because I don't I do bars all the time.
that
It's
counts.
just bars.
That counts.
I said the Universal Bar and Grill.
I was gonna say, yeah. She took one of mine.
Bars.
Well, I guess number 1 would have to be the Good Night.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the home.
That's
That's
the
your
home
home.
stage. I started comedy literally on that stage, and I will probably die doing comedy on that stage. When the building collapses on me, just kidding. Are we up to code? I don't know. The smell's back. We're trying to re-eliminate. Still haven't figured it out. We thought so. Nope. We still haven't figured it out.
Come for the comedy, stay for the mystery smell.
Stay for the mystery smell. No, we are combating it, and it should be fixed by the next.
I do just.
We are
I do
currently
like the Good
fighting
Night.
a
I would
smell.
say honorable mention for the Good Night.
I gotta say, the image in my head of y'all fighting the smell is just the whole bar staff fighting, just a sentient green cloud. with
Yeah,
arms.
pretty much. There was a time when it was so bad, and me and one of the bartenders, we would come in on a Monday, and it would smell so bad, and we'd have like a case of Renuzits that we would just put out everywhere. Literally every surface with Lysol, and then like 12 Renuzits around the bar.
You know what you should do also is like wipe all of the surfaces down with Fabuloso. It'll just smell like grape jelly in there.
Oh yeah. So the good night. There was this one place that I did in San Antonio that I absolutely loved. It was called the Blind Tiger Comedy Club. In the basement of a magical time machine, which is like a Chuck E. Cheese ripoff.
Oh, okay.
But all the waiters dress like characters from movies on TV.
Or like history, like a Ben Franklin and a Black Panther in the same. It's hysterical.
And then there's a back part that's like a bar / karaoke, and then in a basement below there's a
comedy club.
Tiny comedy club.
And it's very fun.
Shout out to Jay White.
Yeah. Oh my God. The one guy that got me up in San Antonio when I was out there on such short notice. God bless you. Thank you for putting me up there, man.
Hilarious. Follow
Also
on
found
Twitter.
me weed in Texas. So really, thank you so much for.
Nice.
And then number 3. Nope, I don't have one.
No?
No, it's you know what? 3 through 10 is the Flappers main stage. Okay. No, I'm kidding.
You forgot about the Yoo-Hoo room.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, Sam.
I got bumped 3 times at the Yoo-Hoo room by Damon Wayans, Senior.
Damn.
2013.
You know what?
It was
Number
2013,
3
wasn't
then
it?
The one time I didn't get bumped by him, he proceeded. I did materials about my strokes, and then he proceeded to do a bunch of new material about his strokes. And I'm like, you didn't have no stroke material before this. What the fuck?
And they still do that handyman
I know my number 3.
character.
My number
What?
3 is just the basic concept of a backyard show. Like I love
indeed.
I love doing like
yeah.
house parties and backyard shows.
I like
Those-
Josh DiDonato's old backyard show. His was good.
There's definitely better backyards than others, but
Sure,
I
sure.
love the concept of doing that kind of thing.
I have one more honorable shout out
Yeah.
to the Brainwash Cafe up in San Francisco, which is the first
Tony
place.
Sparks.
Tony Sparks.
Shout out to Tony Sparks.
That was the first
Damn,
place I ever did
that's
comedy.
shit. I didn't even
Oh,
thought
no,
about
my
the
first place was Luggage Store, which also was great.
And anywhere Dave Apkarian's running a show in Fresno.
Yeah, there we
anywhere
go. There we
Dave's
go.
got a show going up.
Oh man,
It's always a treat.
Yeah.
what you got, Sam?
Let's also you have to love the first rooms you've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love Cherrywood Coffee House in Austin.
Yeah.
When I moved to LA, the first room I ever did was Eno Vino.
I've got a
sure.
show there Friday. I've never done a show there.
If it's a great room, it's
Okay.
a great room for comedy, especially if they get some people in there. It's
Cool.
a small
Yeah.
room.
Eno
It doesn't take
Vino,
that many people to.
For people listening, it's the basement of a wine store.
Oh, cool.
And it's
Oh,
so
cool.
like does have that like bunker. Like I mean, it's literally underground.
Yeah,
so
so you can see pipes in the ceiling.
Oh,
and shit
fun.
like that.
Ooh, love that.
yeah.
I
Around
love
town?
every terrible place.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the
There's some
lyric.
good
Meet
ones
me
here
at the
in LA.
Lyric Hyperion.
Lyric
for
Hyperion.
hardcore
Oh yeah,
songs.
that's the black box place right over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about to be what's the new name? They're getting taken over by the New York Comedy Club. I think it's going to be called
Whoa.
like the Los Angeles Comedy Club or something.
No, I didn't know that.
Lord.
Yeah, just
They have they
That's real
changed
innovative.
They changed the setup of the room. It was a black box theater with a dirty ass rug, They
Which
never
was kind of
cleaned.
charming.
It was, and now they have a stage set up, and there's tables pushed up to like cocktail tables. It
Yeah.
looks like a comedy club. It's
Oh,
extremely
wow.
strange.
that was the
Huh.
the first book show I did in LA was there. It was the End of the World show, which I later became a producer of. We had 8 producers. It was a fucking crazy idea, and
classic sign of a great show.
yeah. But it was called the End of the World show because it was on December 21st, 2012 or whatever day that the Mayan calendar ended.
Oh,
so
Lord.
it was supposed to be the day the world ended, and I got to do a show, and Kyle Kinane was the headliner. I was like, oh shit, hey, I know him. I know him from TV. So yeah, that one is always special. I have to shout out Star Community Bar in Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to Rodney. That room, nothing about it should work, and yet Rodney has committed himself to whipping that room into shape to the point where like he'll go on stage and just be like if you heckle, I'll kick your ass. Like
that was me with the Canteen Points audience. If you don't like it, fucking leave.
yeah, straight up. And and Rodney is the best. And that room, like I said, it shouldn't work, and it does. And they run till like 2 a.m, and people are still going. Kyle Clark recorded his most recent record there. So that place fucking rocks. To Sam's point, the first place I ever did comedy is the place that I run when I go home now, although it's under a different name. The Coffee Cat / The Hound in Auburn. Great room. Shout out to Maddie. She lets me do whatever I want whenever I book a show there. She's like, move the furniture around, do the whole thing, and we always have a good time there. And then shout out to West Side, my home for 8 years. So it's got those are my top 3.
It's a weird room. It's like
it's a weird room.
It's very high. It's like a warehouse type deal.
It's literally zoned as storage, which is why they can afford to be behind the Apple Store on the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica.
Wow. You enter from an alley.
Yeah, it's in an alley. It is technically storage, and when you speaking of smells, when you first walk in there, it's the back room of a shoe store. So the second you open the door and walk into West Side in the afternoon, it just smells like rubber shoe. It smells like a shoe store. And you're like, oh, it's just rubber.
Yeah.
happening.
Also, like R.I.P. to like one of the first places I did comedy when I moved back to L.A., which was Nerd Melt.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Which is also where I met Ed. So.
Oh, I love that.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, we met in the store, in the comic book part of the store. And also Minton Card, that comic book store.
Oh yeah, Blast from the Past.
Blast from the Past.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great venue.
I'm gonna buy them a spotlight one of these days.
Yeah.
Performing in full fluorescent lighting.
What about Rivers? What about in LA? Did you name an in LA venue?
I said West Side.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I mean,
non-comedy club.
the spot I met Joe Kaye at, Other Door, always real fun.
Yeah.
Although
Good
a
times.
good hang.
I don't know if that's the stage.
Yeah, I wouldn't really classify that as one of my favorites.
But I judge almost all of these. The ones I gave you are the ones that are keyed for performance. If it's just like things that I have a nostalgic attachment to, it's Other Door, it's Unurban Cafe.
Unurban.
Yeah,
that was fun. I honestly had fun there.
That's where this show started. That's where I met Pat and Goodnight back in 2012. So this show would not exist without Unurban. And then shout out the Westwood Brew Co. was
that's
fun.
where I met Goodnight.
Yeah. That's so those are the ones as far as LA goes.
And the Silver Lake Lounge.
And they're all
good.
Oh, Silver Lake Lounge.
That was the first place.
Another not good one.
Yeah.
I saw Kenny Lyons try to fight literally the entire crowd at Silver Lake Lounge.
That sounds about
like
right.
when I say like literally the entire crowd, I'm talking about the whole crowd, comedians, regular bar patrons, the bartender, everybody.
I'm glad he likes me. I'm just glad he likes me.
I would take him fighting the crowd over him becoming naked, which is
I've also seen Kenny Lyons naked there, and that's when he got kicked out and like banned forever.
I'm so glad I don't run mics anymore.
Why?
I'm so glad because it's funny. It's fucking funny for us when we're sitting out there and like it's horrifying and whatever. But like to have to be the one to run the thing and like
sit there,
and like
for the producer,
you have to deal with it. Like you're gonna be the one that has to deal with it. Like at the end of the day, like if he were to ever come to the Goodnight mic and fucking whip his dick out, like it would have been me and Lindsay dealing with the fallout of that.
This one is the last one for this week. At Harry_Hood. This is my buddy Sam in Virginia.
That's my name.
It's a fish song, Sam. Harry Hood.
Okay.
Harry, where do you go when the lights go out? And that ties into his question. Top 3 bands to goof on and why?
To goof on?
Like the funniest, it's not a band, the way I'm reading this, a band that you don't necessarily like, but a band that is always funny to you in some way.
I respect them as people, but the Insane Clown Posse.
That's probably one for me.
Fat old white guys.
I've only ever heard one song by them.
Yeah, I mean, the music is, it doesn't matter. It's just the fact that they're old, fat white guys who paint their face and rap. Guar is a fun one.
Yeah, to like clown, like it's not necessarily, like I'm, the ICP guys seem to be good people.
Yeah, they are.
They seem to be very good people. So it's fun to clown on the music, but like they're good people. I'm trying to think.
I feel like the Guar and ICP, I think very much know what they're doing.
You can a good reference is always Disturbed, Linkin Park. I'm going to throw Cottonmouth Kings in there. Bunch of like Saliva, a bunch of
311,
the Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
I would say any band from like that like really popped between like 2000 and 2004
Yeah.
is like a band that you could probably throw into
You
that
can clown on
category.
Fall Out Boy.
Oh, yeah.
You can
Yeah.
clown on. I mean,
Okay.
everybody clowns on Nickelback.
Limp Bizkit.
Limp
That's
Bizkit.
Limp
Uncle
Bizkit.
Cracker.
Uncle
Oh yeah, Uncle Cracker, Joe C. R.I.P.
If we're gonna go hip hop, then maybe Bubba Sparks.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Hootie and the Blowfish is a
Rock.
fun one to clown on just
Yeah.
because of that name.
Yeah, well,
And they're
that's
from the 90s.
That's what I was gonna say. It is very like name centric a lot of times.
Yeah,
like,
if it sounds funny to say, then
go for it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like in a joke or something. You're like, I'm trying to find the funniest words to use. So Hootie and the Blowfish is always there's a lot of
I mean,
lot
Bubba
of
Sparks with 3 X's.
that's hysterical. That's-
yeah. But no, I'm gonna say it because I think this is what Harry Hood is fishing for. It's
Fish.
It's fish.
It is fish.
and I'm a fan.
You know, Grateful
but-
Dead. I like to clown on the Grateful Dead a
the
lot.
Grateful Dead get made fun of way more because they're
Yeah.
more popular.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
See, I hate both those bands, but like I said,
Everyone.
Dave
I
Matthews
grew up on
Band.
I grew up on Hate Street, so like when
Oh, God, of
what's
course.
his name died,
Jerry.
when Jerry Garcia died, it was a nightmare.
Oh,
That was the summer that was
Clarification: the real Jerry Garcia, not my partner Jerry Garcia.
yes, the original, the OG Jerry Garcia.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that summer I was like, it was like the summer after like a really good school year, and I was like, this summer's gonna be great. And then they were camping everywhere. Like,
Right.
Well, I mean, like they set up tents in like the middle of the
Wow.
street for weeks. It was awful.
They have a-
I hated it.
The Deadheads are way worse than whatever.
And it was like,
Yeah.
my fan, it was
Yeah.
like, and my it wasn't
100%.
just me and my mom and my brother that lived in that. Like my aunt and uncle and their 2 kids lived above us, and then
Yeah.
her other sister and her husband and their 2 kids lived in like the apartment next door, and then my oldest cousin lived there with her 3 like black roommates. So we're talking about like 12 black people who were just like, the fuck is going on? What are you guys doing? Get out of here.
The one I was gonna say that no one said that I think it might be
I hate those bands.
might be the fucking the easiest one. Jimmy Buffett, Parrot Heads.
Oh, 100%.
Parrot Heads, man.
One of my coworkers is a legit parrot head. Like, legit, like, unironically loves the entire
Do you
catalog
guys
of
know
Jimmy
who,
Buffett.
Do you know who David Arnold is? He's a comedian. He's the older black
No,
dude.
no.
He's kind of hilarious. But his wife used to be a backup singer for Jimmy Buffett.
Whoa. She was in the Coral Reefers.
Yes.
That's his band.
Yeah, I assumed because
Like,
you
for,
know
like, about 10
everything.
years.
Joe, just so you know, the Coral Reefers is his band. So now you know.
I know
he's
for
like
sure.
David is he's part of like that whole like sort of Kevin Hart type of crew of people. He used to perform when I worked at the Comedy Union. He used to perform at the Comedy Union a lot, and like he'd bring his wife, and then I found out she was a backup singer for Jimmy Buffett, and I was like, the fuck is what?
Yeah.
That's
It's like
so
finding out,
unhinged.
it's like almost like it's like Shaka Khan and Glenn Frey like doing that song together. Is it Glenn Frey or who is it?
Steve Winwood.
Steve Winwood.
Yeah.
And Shaka Khan sings backup on that song, and you're like, what is going on? That's like finding out.
80s were a wild time.
Turns out there's a lot of bands that are fun to clown on, even if they make good music.
Yeah. No, that's not even the like I said, I like Fish, but they are an objectively hilarious band because for instance, the keyboard player Paige McConnell, he's the only member of the band that can sing in a way that I would describe as true singing. And
Grateful Dead can't sing.
He sings like 1% of their songs.
It's also really fun just to clown on good bands. Like, it's really fun to clown on Led Zeppelin and watch people get real big mad about it.
Oh yeah,
Oh, like
of
I'm
course.
one of those people. I don't like the Beatles or the Rolling Stones, and I
Fair.
can't tell you the amount of white people that have come up to me and been like, "You just don't know," and then like explain to me their entire catalogs. I'm like, I understand.
Yeah.
I get it. I've heard most of their music. I still don't like them.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
I come by this opinion legitimately.
No, I am a huge Beatles fan that is very level-headed and being like, it's not for everybody, but you just have to acknowledge that it is a big part of music and rock history.
I acknowledge their
That's
history
it.
in music.
You don't have to love it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not
fact,
a
hate
fan. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick the Rolling Stones over the Beatles. But I acknowledge both of their places in history and as their like influence on other bands.
Yeah.
Like there would be no, like, I love Boyz II Men. There would probably be no Boyz II Men if it wasn't for somebody like the Beatles making like boy band type of
I was going to
groups
say,
a thing.
Check out we did a whole boy bands episode where we tried to figure out the first boy band with Ellie McIlvaine.
Yeah.
And it's
Like, you would
it's
need
the
a
Ink
group
Spots.
like the Beatles.
Ink Spots,
to, like,
okay.
make a group that like ultimately led us to New Kids on the Block, who I do love.
My favorite detail of that whole thing is that Lou Pearlman, the kind of Svengali behind all of that, he was a blimp millionaire.
Yeah.
Oh yes, was I here when you said?
I think I've told everybody because
told me
the
this.
phrase blimp millionaire, speaking of things that are funny coming out of your mouth, it's nothing not funny about.
Also, when you know what Lou Pearlman looks like, it makes it even funnier.
It makes it very funny. But yeah, that's some top threes. Shout out to everybody. Like I said, we've got a ton of these. Keep sending them in at The Good Spot on Twitter. We'll knock out a few every week. Those are real fun. So thanks for sending those in.
Harry, where do you go when the lights go out? Harry, where do you go?
Well, y'all, we have time for just one more segment. It is time for our Jam of the Week.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And today we are taking a walk down that long dirt road into Bro Countryville.
No.
With Florida Georgia Line.
Why are all the comments for these songs so fucking sincere?
Well, I don't know about these.
God.
It's FGL.
Yeah, well, this is not just FGL. This is FGL featuring Luke Bryan.
Yeah.
And the song is called
Bryan.
This Is How We Roll.
Yeah.
And this video features the Nitro Circus crew doing flips on their motorbikes.
Yeah, those people. Yeah, I know that Nitro Circus. Why do I know that name? Yep.
So we do have a lot of motorbiking involved in the comments here. I don't know if this is a song that people know. I was at Cracker Barrel and I saw this at the gift shop. They were selling this CD and I was like, oh yeah, because we've talked about Luke Bryan and Florida Georgia Line in the past, but I figure it's time to revisit with the supergroup. But yeah, let's get down to these comments here. First up, Project 79 from 7 years ago. Don't call me a bitch, Tristan. I'll have the cops at your doorstep. Okay.
Moving on.
I don't know who Tristan is. That's not
It's not a white people. You guys are great.
Thank you.
Like, I really do. Like, when you're rednecks, you're great. When you're liberal, you're great. All of it is great. Because, like, everything is hilarious.
Everything.
I love that's not a reply to anything. That's just a free floating. That's a free one for you, Tristan. Eat shit.
Damn it, I forgot to send this as a text message.
Right?
I just posted it on YouTube.
I'm not going to take it down.
This is, yeah, the year is 2015. We're in the future. But yeah, this next one, I love this name. Game Rage Mom from 7 years ago.
Is she a gamer or her kid's a gamer?
I think she's a mom that's mad about the video game she plays. If I had to venture a guess.
Is it Game Rage or is it Gamer Age?
It's 3 words.
Okay.
Game Rage Mom. From 7 years ago. The only thing I like about this song, and the only reason that I added it to any of my playlists, is because of Luke Bryan. The Florida Georgia Line guys look like a bad mix of the worst parts of my ex-husband, that ugly-ass motherfucker. Which I love.
Oh, man.
I love that.
So sincere.
Sincere, petty.
She was mad.
It's
That's
personal. It's
so
petty.
fucking funny.
It's super specific.
That ugly motherfucker. That's so...
And if you've ever seen the Florida Georgia Line guys, that means that she was married to a guy who models for Affliction. Like they are like Affliction cowboys, basically.
Oh God!
I kind of like Luke Bryan. I only know him from American Idol, but I'm like, it's adorable.
Yeah, he seems fine.
He seems fine.
What's his big single? Like,
I'll tell you the one that we talked about on here. He has a song that literally dropped in March of 2020 called One Margarita. That is like a total Buffett ripoff that he was thinking like, oh man, this is going to be the hit of the
Tour
summer.
on this also.
Summer 2020, baby. And then
I'm going to drink margaritas and sing this song.
But what was funny was people were like mad at him as if he had written the song like, hey, there's going to be a pandemic where people can't be around each other. I know what I'll do. As if the song wasn't written fucking months earlier. There were people like on Twitter being like, this is so ill-timed.
There were people like big mad about like pop stars releasing albums in like the spring. They're like, wow, way to read a room, Dua Lipa. And it's like,
the bullet.
What the fuck are you talking
the bullet
about?
has been in this gun for months.
Yeah.
This is not.
Also, like, I have a contract to fulfill to my record company, or do you want me to be broke?
Yeah.
He's another one I saw on Kelly and Ryan, and he has wild turkeys that roam into his house sometimes.
He's a normal guy.
He did a fucking remote interview on
Just
the
like
show.
us.
Like,
The celebrities, they're just like us.
and a wild turkey just showed up in his living room while he was doing the interview.
Oh boy.
Shu Lang Lu from 7 years ago. The only thing I like vids from Florida Georgia Line is they always have girls in it. It makes me feel less gay when I'm studying engineering in university.
Man, that always makes me feel so fucking
That's
gay.
a lot to unpack.
I was like, what?
Yeah, man, going to school makes me feel like a fucking faggot. Like, that's what?
What else could you
Guys,
feel like?
is it gay to study at university?
Yeah, fellas. That's what he's like. I'm studying engineering. That's about the gay.
First of all, you are gay because you called it university and not college, you queer.
Yeah.
Are you going to university? Are you going to university?
He posts that from the UK.
Probably.
I hope
Joe
so.
wakes up
if he's
some
posting that
days,
from Florida and or Georgia.
and Joe's like, I don't want to feel gay today.
Yeah.
Okay, what can I listen to?
Oh my
This
God, is
song's
this
back.
me at 13? Please, God, if I could wake up loving pussy, I'd be so nice.
I like this music because the girls. You can't
Please
see
let me-
girls anywhere
And the
else.
motorbikes. I like them doing the flippies on the motorbikes.
God, if I could wake up tomorrow and actually think my girlfriend's cute instead of just having her around to keep the ice dancing and clarinet lessons.
James Hayden from 2 years ago. Some songs make me think about the last time that I've been with my cousin because he won't ever come to my house, so I want to beat him up. He will never.
What?
That's how it ends. I mean, he will.
I need a backstory on that comment.
My cousin will not come to my house.
I love a stream
Is
of
this-
consciousness comment.
I want to
Like,
know, does his cousin not come to his house just like because his cousin is like, I'm not coming over, you come over here? Or does his cousin not come to his house because he's like, you're never coming to my house?
Well, he's saying he's going to hit him. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to beat you up. And I was like, I don't
but is
blame
he
him.
gonna beat him up because he never comes
Yeah.
over,
This
or
is-
because
this
he's
is a-
banned him from his house?
This is a
Is
these the
vicious
same
cycle.
question?
That's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, I eat because I'm hungry, and I'm hungry because I eat.
Bro from 1 year ago. So you know this is going to be good. Yeah. This is how we roll. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, no.
Wait, you don't have any more candy? This is how we roll. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse rules. Bro, better than you. Fuck butt, bitch. That's how we roll.
Yep.
I love a drunken Valentine's Day post.
The Valentine's Day there is the keystone holding that arch together because that explains everything.
It does. See, I don't
Yep.
need any more story for that one.
That wasn't
Happy
there.
Valentine's Day.
We'd just be left wandering, but the fact that he's happy
again.
Hallmark card day, I guess. Fuck butt.
Just give me candy. I just went to go get candy, man, and they're just like, we're out of candy.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're out of
This is after like the women have been kicked out and like Forrest Gump is saying she tasted like cigarettes.
candy's Valentine's. Just get real quiet when
Yeah.
drunks get like when they know they're being loud and then they get way too quiet.
Lisa Lang from 5 years ago.
The
The one and only. Wow. I like how they all play with their fluffy hair. My husband must have made it here 3 days ago with his fluffy hair, too. he just isn't allowed in the video, but he did make it into Luke's Country Girl Shake It For You video, and I'm glad he did, because the women in that video are actually acting like they have some sense about making the video. Thank God for fluffy hair. It's all it takes to make a video and a comment section that you can understand.
Big Gabriel
First of all,
Iglesias fan. She loves fluffy hair.
First of all, that's not a comment we can understand. Second of all, I feel like she's just humble. She's like trying to low-key humble brag about her husband being
her husband's
Luke Bryan
in the
video.
bands. Yeah, because I looked this up. I went to this video and I watched the whole goddamn thing, and there appeared to be only one male in the video, and it was Luke Bryan until the very end, and there is a guy playing guitar with some fluffy ass hair, and I'm like, that's the husband.
Yeah.
She
She just wanted to humble brag about her husband. being in the
that's
video.
that's what I think, but she,
I was in a DMX video. You don't see me telling people about it.
Should. That's way more
Yeah, wait,
interesting.
whoa.
say what?
What?
I was in the Party Up video.
What?
Yes.
What? Were you?
Were you one of the
up.
hostages?
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, isn't that a bank robbery?
No, there's a part where it's like it's just a small part where there's like he's in a nightclub and I'm in that scene.
No
love
shit.
that.
I don't.
Wow,
I'm
that's
old.
fun.
Hell yeah. Marine Sis from 6 years ago. I'm basically country because I grew up listening to country. I have 3 best friends who love country, and 3 of them are all brothers and sisters. One of them was my boyfriend, and their names are Austin, Weston, and Kalen. I dated Austin. Their dad is so country. When he gets drunk, sometimes it's so funny. And Phil has a truck named Pinky, and Pinky is like a monster truck. Austin, Weston, and Kalen, basically they're the only ones who made me country. If they're like my brothers and sisters, I have had a crush on Austin since 4th grade. I'm in 7th grade now. Austin is too. Me and them are like family, and we always take quizzes on who my future husband will be, and it says best friend. I've been listening to country for a long time now. I even have the accent. All of you
See,
have
at
a nice
first
day.
I was gonna be like, I'm gonna look up Austin Weston and Caleb. because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure I could.
Yeah.
That's all I need to find the internet.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now that I know that if they're legit children, I will not.
What was the name of the?
Marine Sis. So this was 6 years ago. So theoretically, this person is 18 or 19 at this
Yeah.
point.
Marine
We gotta
what?
message him.
Yeah, message them. But I
See if this worked out with all
yeah.
How's it going with Austin?
But I do feel like you needed like a flow chart or a family tree to understand
Yeah.
what was happening in that one. This, of course, is Sam's favorite section. It's the hip hop section we call bars. So this person has written some hip hop lyrics inspired by this song.
It probably fits to the rhythm of the song. That's
Maybe.
usually the case with these.
Commando Man from 5 years ago. Yeah, this is how we roll in my El Camino on our way to Taco Belly to buy us some burritos with Cheetos, Fritos, and Doritos. While I'm standing in line, I see my ex-girl, Amigo. She says, I would look hot in a Speedo. I reply, I look better wearing a tuxedo.
Lyrical.
And then I show her my mosquito bite. She thinks it's very neato. And a few hours later, we all go to Litos.
I thought
Pizza
Stephen Sondheim died.
Pizza
Also, the only
pie.
person who can use mosquito in a lyric is Kurt Cobain.
That's true.
This is Eminem's burner account. You can tell.
He says we go to Toledo's.
Sure, it's not Haley's.
Pizza Pio. And now we have no money, so we decide to go to the casino. My best friend Vito is there. He gives me some dough, some cashio to gamble with. Now we have some money.
Make it shit up.
And
They
then,
can switch up the
and
fucking
then
crime.
we go to Home Depot.
Nice.
That's the bars. That's
Jesus
Bitten by
Christ.
mosquitoes when I'm in Home Depot, eating on some Fritos,
I'm
Doritos,
gonna throw the word
Tostitos.
orange in there just to
Yeah.
fuck them all up.
Orange.
couple more here. Ribs 06 from 7 years ago.
I like that.
That's what my dad calls me. I'm tired of Luke Bryan. He's a liar. He don't hunt. He don't do shit except collect a check from all of us listening to his music and that someone else wrote for him. Florida Georgia Line is the same damn way. They aren't country. If they were, they would speak of God and God's word all
There we
the
go.
time. Instead, they want to talk about getting girls all the time, which is fine as long as them girls you get turn into your wives or wife. And then,
Wives.
but then,
Guy hasn't had sex in a long
Well,
time.
Jehovah Witness section.
but then something magical happens, something I've never seen, and we've been doing this a long ass time. a rare mea culpa. So there's that comment posted, and then a couple hours later, he comes back. I have to retract my statement I made. I was watching the Outdoor Channel, and I saw Luke Bryan on there, and I don't know why I went on a drunken rant about him. I apologize. That has never happened.
Sorry to the readers of these comments.
Sorry to this man.
To me.
Yeah.
That's just for me.
Sorry to this man.
Also, I can tell you that Luke Bryan is hunting wild turkeys on his property because they come into his house on a regular basis.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
That's so
Like
fucking
on Live
funny.
with Kelly and Ryan, and it's just like, oh God, one's here now. And then he like took his computer and panned it over, and there was a wild turkey in his living room that had clearly come in from his French doors on his patio.
Roderick Atkinson from 7 years ago. I wrecked on my motorcycle once, and I didn't know who anyone was.
What? Whoa.
Probably get that checked out. That's
And I immediately ran to an Apple store and got on YouTube and left this comment.
I still don't know who anyone is. Can you help me? Please help. I'm bleeding from my head.
That's a cry for help.
I don't know where I am.
That reminds me of the time that I saw the dude behind me at CVS who was treating his own gunshot wound.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
What? Where was that? Is the CVS here?
It was CVS here in LA. It was the CVS on Laurel Canyon up at Ventura. And I was like in line, like just buying like random, like coming back from the store type stuff.
And then the guy from No Country for Old Men walks in.
And then this guy, like, he had, like, I saw when I walked in and I had gone to the, like, medical section where, like, because I was buying some Band-Aids too.
Yeah,
Like, there was blood over there and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I, like, bought, like, other stuff, like beef jerky and all that. And then I
God.
got up to the counter and, like,
Sorry. I'm
right
sorry.
behind me was a dude who was, like, holding his side. There was blood gushing out of his sweater.
Jesus.
And me and the
Whoa.
cashier could both, like, I looked because she was, like, frozen. And I was like, hello.
Holy
And then
shit.
I looked and, like, I saw, and I was like, he is treating his own gunshot.
Holy fuck.
Can we just unpack that? You're in a CVS, you see blood in an aisle, and your first thought is interesting. Let me go get jerky.
Oh, yeah, 'cause, I
Like-
mean, it's like Laurel Canyon and Ventura. Anything can happen on that corner.
Oh, yeah. They're wild over there.
It's like a sort of a no man.
Yeah, the Wild West of Studio
there's
City.
Like, it's like, you know, there's another like CVS directly across the street for no reason.
Classically, the
There's a-
Heim girls grew up in the unpredictable Studio City.
And there's that
I know exactly what
Kinko's
you're
that
talking-
regularly houses homeless people right there.
Yeah.
So it's like the FedEx store.
The last Kinko's on Earth.
It was like a Kinko's and then now it's the FedEx store. But
You
it
need
still
to
has
write
the,
that
like-
screenplay, The Last Kinko's on Earth. That's
And finally,
okay.
Clyde Bird from 10 months ago. Jessica Jordan Bird, you see now. Y'all know for real that she is mine and I'm hers. Not Tiffany Johnson, and that's facts. I shot guns. I live. My God, let's go down the road. And me and Brady, we did it all the way to New York, down to Virginia. Yes, hometown. Clyde Bird. Yes. How we go to Fayette County, Tennessee. Yes. Black Chevy, 86 box truck Chevy. Now we all got home. I made sure of it because everyone got drunk and I made sure we all got home. Right? Chris, Shane, Billy Jake. Yes. Shake Thompson, Fergie. Yes. Alan. Yes. Whoever we all jumped in, the black Chevy. I made sure all hot hoes. Clyde, Edward, Bird, I think that's him. Eddie, did I make sure we got high? We flew fast, Chris. Johnny whooped my ass, but nobody else could. Well, one time, because I stalled out on Warren Road, I rode four-wheelers and jumped that bitch. Yes, fast as hell. The cops took away my four-wheeler. They knew it would kill the king. Now I see why. Do you see why Fayette County, Tennessee Sheriff's Department? I love you guys.
Okay, everyone he
Posted this from
mentioned.
heaven?
That's poetry.
I was going to say this is either from beyond the grave or every single person he mentioned is dead and he is the last surviving member of this friend
was
group.
transcribed from a Ouija board. Yes.
Oh my God! Can you
Yes.
imagine? Like,
It is definitely one of those two things. He's dead, or everybody he knows
Everyone's
is dead.
dead.
Also, he
he's the
definitely
last one.
We're
Also,
all
he
dead.
definitely cheated on Jessica.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's too insistent that Tiffany was not.
Tiffany is nuts.
Not the one. That's fact.
No, because
may have
she's
made
dead
out.
too.
I did not.
Everyone. When I said
Tiffany
everyone,
after I was with Jessica,
I mean everyone in that story except for him is dead.
Yeah.
Every single person,
including Jessica
including Jessica.
and Tiffany.
He is talking about his devotion to his dead wife
Yeah,
and not his dead girlfriend.
yeah.
And that is Florida Georgia Line featuring Luke Bryan.
Good God.
This is how we roll with dead people through a
Good
Ouija board.
Lord.
I always wonder if the artists ever read the YouTube comments.
Oh, well, they certainly get a lot of people addressing them directly, like, hey, Luke Bryan, if you ever read this, I need you to come back to
But not like
Davenport.
those type of comments. That's boring.
Yeah.
That's typical soccer shit. I'm talking about like that.
I
Like
would love
Clyde.
to know, like, do they ever self-analyze? Like, what is it about me that is inspiring this? What is it
Why
about
did Clyde feel the need?
what I am putting out in the world has brought this back to me? I don't know. Well, yeah, that is our program. Thank you all so much for joining us. Klee, please tell people where they can find you online.
You can always follow me on Twitter at Klee Wiggins. I'm Grand Moff That Bitch is my screen name.
Love
Hell
that.
yeah.
And on Instagram at Klee Wiggins SF, you can see like pictures of the food that I cook for him.
Yes. Yeah, Klee is a great follow. If you just want to get real hungry and laugh, that's the best. Well, thank you for being here, Klee. Joe Kaye, tell people where they can find you online.
Online at Joe Charles K on Twitter and Instagram. And hey, if you're in LA, make sure to come out to the Good Night on March 26th for Avatar 2: The Secret of the Ooze with special guest Vanilla Ice. Come on out to that. It's gonna be
Hell yeah.
It's going to be real wild and stupid. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's also my birthday, so come
shit.
on out and hang out.
All right. So I'm going to bring you the good energy drinks for your birthday.
God.
Was it March 12th?
March 26th.
March 26th.
Last Saturday of the
26th.
month.
Hell yeah. Sam, where can people find you online?
Under the dinner blanket. Slam.
Call back.
Instagram, Slam Harder, Twitter, dinnerblanket.com. Where you can find me at.
Also, look out for the screenplay coming theaters. The Last Kinko's owner.
Yeah, the last Kinko's on
I
Earth.
just sold it. I had a general meeting yesterday. Sold it.
I'm
that you really
putting that in my
like the
list of bad
idea.
plays. Like that's like we were saying last. Like,
Well, yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. The best way to support the show, head over to patreon.com/thegoodspod. Join the Tower of Power. And the second best way to support this show is to go to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Show that attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, daddy, fuck you. We'll see you next time. Oh, and before we go, I got a world premiere. My friend Lee Bains III, which he's going back on tour, supporting his new record that's coming out later this year. One of the best rock and roll bands in the fucking world. They're from Birmingham, Alabama. He's been on the show before, friend of the show, an amazing dude. He had a great write-up in Rolling Stone that came out this morning, and he gave Rolling Stone the exclusive, but I texted Lee just a moment ago before we started, and he was like, yeah, go ahead and play it. So we're the second, we get the scraps from Rolling Stone magazine.
cool.
Second only to Rolling Stone.
That's
Yeah,
right.
wow.
To debut the brand new single from Lee Bains III and the Gloryfiers. This is God's a Working Man.
Captives cry freedom from a crucifix of shame. The state calls corrections between Lock 17 and Tone. Where the bank and the landlord stole my great-granddaddy's days. Where the Lord taught him to read scripture by the cold wine. Joy Hartshaw reads between the Tobisoki, her folks' mouths. Elders call through death and eat a song her mama's old biscuit pan. A boy murmurs in the mic as a briar patch saved her life. Like when his mama got strung out His grandparents took him by his little shaking hands. On broken things to fix, a wound up wild band. Lies and wine and stories, sanctified beating down land. Longer I've been living, seems like the less I understand. Every morning I hit my knees and thank God my God's a working man. I thank God that he came down here to get to working man. Sweet sign on gold, salt water looking at my wounds. I drank tea from my failure, heard my mama curse the day I was born. The sun pierced my lids, great granddaddy touched this water. The only time he left Alabama, made me and granddaddy singing and waving from the shore. Old broken things to fix, a wound up wild band. Lies of wine and stories, sanctified beating down land. The longer I've been living, seems like the less I understand. But every morning I hit my knees and thank God my God's a working man. I thank God that they came down here to get to working man. Search Talladega's burnt meals for the spirit of the strike. It's soft hills for the rustic war songs. Amistad blazed on the Ritz Theater marquee. Dark air, college kids, town elders. Blue light, fashion blaze, broken chains. Sing pay calls to the ancestors through the ancient speakers and the dim screen. Old broken things to fix, a wound up wild band. Lies of wine and stories, sanctified beating down land. Seems like the less I understand. But every morning I hit my knees and thank God my God's a working man. I thank God that they came down here to get to working man. I want to thank you, Lord. In the cold, dusted holler, I'm a barefoot starvation youth. Some church shadowed stones cried out my grandmama's name. A lady fixing flowers, eyes flashing at me, they were kid. She weaves lines through the grave roads, old time falling like rain. Old broken things to fix, bound up while I bang. Lots of wine and stories, sanctified beating down land. The longer I've been living, seems like the less I understand. But every morning I hit my knees and thank God my God's a working man. I thank God that she came down here to get to working man. I want to thank you, Lord. Yes, I want to thank you. Squatted at his feet, did he preach to the Union black and white? Before they shut down the Jasper streets, Corona mine. Clouds spread across the land, led me down to the lock 17 down. Black warrior sang its song, an eagle opened up like a black-bound book in the sky. Oh, broken things to fix, the wound up while I band. Lies of wine stories, sanctified beating down land. The longer I've been living, seems like the less I understand. Every morning I hit my knees and thank God my God's a working man. I thank God that she came down here to get to working man.
The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter @TheGoodsPod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.